Hi there, I'm Aki from Aki Gaming, and welcome to another episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Each episode, we will be putting two heroes into the spotlight and see who reigns supreme over the other. First, they will be judged by all of their attributes, which includes their stats, weapons, skills, etc. Then, we will put them into a battle simulator to see who's the better one when head on. Not only that, we will be also giving them their best possible skill build and put them into the ultimate mass battle showdown to see who will be crowned the winner of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Let's not wait any longer and introduce our contestants. Standing on the left corner, the ruler of Granville, a descendant of Fala, the Emperor of Flame, Arvis. And standing on the right corner, the Prince of the Granville Empire, harbor affections for Ishtar, the Scion of Darkness, Julius! And here we go, father versus son, Valflame versus Loptus. Two redhead clashing to find out who's the better red mage. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Round 1, stats and skills. Let's start with their base stats total. Arvis has a BST of 148 and Julius' BST is 151. Julius takes the first point. What about their rating after weapons and skills? Arvis' total rating is 162 and Julius is 168. Another point to Julius. Next is their hit points. Arvis has 33 HP and Julius has 38. Hat-trick to Julius. Let's look at their base attack now. Arvis' attack is 34 and Julius is 35. 4 in a row for Julius. What about their speed? Who is a faster unit among the two? Arvis has a speed of 31 and Julius has 27. Arvis finally scores. Now, let's look at the defense. Arvis has a defense of 17 and Julius has 16. Arvis scores again. Last, their resistance to magical damage. Arvis has a resistance of 33 and Julius has 35. One more point to Julius. After going through their stats, the Prince of Granville is leading with 3 points. Could the Emperor of Flame turn the tide around? Next, let's look at their weapon. Arvis uses a legendary tome called Valflame. It has a might of 14 and the ability to inflict a -4 attack and resistance on all foes in cardinal direction at the start of a turn if foe's resistance is lower than his. As for Julius, he holds the Loptus tome that also has a might of 14. It grants him an additional 3 resistance and inflicts a -6 attack on foes during combat if foes doesn't have skills with effective against dragons. However, the downside of the tome is he's vulnerable against skills with effectiveness against dragons. So, who has the better weapon? According to the rating system from Game 8, Valflame is rated higher than Loptus. Arvis wins the weapon fight. Moving on, their special. Arvis has Growing Flame, an AoE special that deals damage equal to his attack minus foe's resistance to foes in a wide area before combat with a cooldown of 4. On the other side, Julius has a special called Draconic Aura that grants him a plus 30% attack with a cooldown of 3. And once again, by referring to Game 8, Julius' special is better than his father's. Hence, another point to Julius. Next, their passives. Let's start with passive B. Arvis has Recover Ring, an uninheritable skill that restores 10 HP at the start of each turn. And Julius, he has Guard that prevents foe from gaining special charges if his HP is higher than 80% at the start of combat. Whose B skill is better? It seems Recover Ring is rated higher than Guard. Arvis gets this point. Last in passive C, Arvis has Defense Ploy that inflicts a -5 defense on all foes in a cardinal direction at the start of a turn if foe's resistance is lower than his. And Julius has Attack Ploy, a ploy skill that has the same condition as Arvis but lowers opponent's attack instead. Again, by referring to this link, Attack Ploy is the better passive among the two. So, the last point goes to Julius. And that's the end to round 1. With a score of 4 against 7, the winner of first round goes to Julius! A difference of 3 points in round 1. Let's hope the fight is much more closer for the next round. Now, let's move on to round 2, head-on fight. For this segment, I'm going to use the FEH damage calculator by Krandu. First, we are just going to let them brawl with their default skills and Ivy with no buff. Let's have a look at the result. It seems no one gets to one round KO their opponent, but Julius has the better advantage on the following turn. And if both of them were in ploy range, Arvis would deal 0 damage to Julius. It's not fair if we give this round a draw with such a scenario. Hence, the default fight goes to Julius. Next, how about we give them some skill inheritance? For your information, the build that will be shown might not be the best build for them, but it's optimized for higher kill counts. For Arvis, Vow Flame, Fury, Recovery Ring, Speed Ploy, Moonbow, and a Speed Seal. For Julius, Loptus, Fury, Swordbreaker, Resistant Ploy, Moonbow, and an Attack Seal. And the result? Still no one round KO, but Julius will be able to KO Arvis in the following turn, with or without ploy. Apparently, Julius has the bigger advantage on both phases. With numerous tweaking and adjusting, it's very hard to come by a build where Arvis will be able to take his son down without any buff. Hence, the skill inheritance fight goes to the Prince of Granville again. And by winning both fights, the victor of the second round goes to Julius! Guess those ties. Guess those ties.
よろしければお茶でもいかが?
Before we proceed to the final segment, let's look back at the results so far. Julius has 2 wins compared to Arvis with none. Could the Emperor of Flame avoid a complete defeat? Or would the Scion of Darkness continue his streak? Let's find out in round 3, Mass Battle. For this segment, we will be using the same damage calculator as round 2 to calculate how effective are they against all the other heroes. Instead of looking at only their kills, we are going to consider their draws and losses too, and the result will be in the form of percentage. Here's the formula. First, we will calculate the result with their default build. And Arvis draws 51, loses 147, and wins 55. What about Julius? He draws 61, loses 124, and wins 68. As mentioned earlier, let's convert it to percentage. And Julius has the higher rate of 38.9 compared to Arvis with 31.8. Next, let's have a look at the result when defending. Arvis draws 50, loses 132, and wins 71. On the other hand, Julius draws 82, loses 110, and wins 61. After conversion, Julius is still leading with 40.3%, a 2.4% more than Arvis. But wait, since Arvis and Julius both has ploy skill, shall we take into consideration if enemies were in range? Here's the result when attacking. When defending, their kill rate did go up, but Arvis is still no match for Julius. Hence, the default mass battle fight goes to Julius. Now, let's look at the result after inheriting skills. And since we already know they perform better if foes is in the range of ploy skills, let's just look at the result instead. Arvis draws 19, loses 49, and wins 185. As for Julius, he draws 24, loses 50, and wins 179. Let's change it to percentage. Arvis has the higher rate of 76.9 compared to Julius with 75.5. What if enemy attack first? How different will the result be? And this time, Arvis draws 28, loses 52, and wins 173. What about Julius? He draws 61, loses 52, and wins 140. After conversion, Arvis is still leading with 73.9%, about 7% higher than his son. With that, Arvis wins the skill inheritance fight. Since Arvis and Julius each has a win in the mass battle round, the result of round 3 concluded in a draw. However, the victor for this week has long been decided. And ladies and gentlemen, having 2 wins and a draw, the winner of this episode, My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours is Julius. Have we had a fight where the predecessor actually performed better than their successor? I can't really remember. Anyway, despite having the lower speed, Julius managed to prevail, mainly because of his weapon's ability and high resistance towards magic. It's kinda rare to see a matchup where a hero with a higher speed lost. I guess the consolation from all this is the Emperor of Flame is the better debuffer on the field. If required, he could even debuff all 4 stats of foes in cardinal direction with the right skills. However, if you need a ranged tank, Julius is definitely the better choice among the 2. So, what's your thought on the result? Who do you think should have been the better Husbando? Let's discuss. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Aki Gaming for more interesting content like this. You could also leave a comment below to suggest who would you like to feature in a future episode. By the way, in order to increase viewer engagement, I'm going to add a poll for you to decide the future matchup. And the final result will be concluded 3 days after this video launch. And the winning matchup will be featured in an episode a week later. You see the small exclamation icon on the top right? Click on that and cast your votes. Here's the winning pair from last poll. Thank you for watching and hope to see you on the next episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours. Objection!